All right, guys, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Yeah, this is the OC
after party.
Goodwill after show, right?
The after show,
The
exactly.
after show.
On the Street Fighter side, at least.
Yes. Yeah, so I am joined here with my long friend and make all this possible, Mr. Jimmy Nguyen, my business partner at Level Up. Of course, you know, Lux in the middle from Goodwill. This is just time for feedback. You know, this is usually when events finish, it's just finito.
Right.
But we never really kind of like digest it and kind of like say, what can we do for the future? So, I mean, Kilby's on the ones and twos. If you guys actually want to submit some questions in the chat.
We can do screen grabs and tweets or something like that.
It's an AMA time.
Yeah,
it's
AMA time. But
so before we start, why don't we give the audience at home a little background of who Lux is? He's actually he's a longtime Smash player, and he approached us last year about doing something with Goodwill in video games.
I think one of the lines was like, Alex, I got this crazy idea for you. I need you to hear me out one second.
Yeah.
And I think we could do some good with it. And Alex was like, all right, sounds like a plan. And you know, that was back in April of last year. It's been like almost exactly a year at this point, and we were off to the races for the next year after that. Pretty much, it felt like.
Yeah, you know, how this came about, guys, is like in SoCal at least. Smash and Street Fighter actually get along here because I don't know what happens in other regions in regards to like tournament, because most of the time you don't see weeklies and locals that have both Smash and Street Fighter. Some may, but Wednesday Night Fights is one of the first ones. We're one of the first ones that collabed back with 2GG. We did even Team Oxy stuff with the Melee, so like we have a great relationship here. So when Champ introduced me to Lux, and you know, he was saying trying out a new idea, right, about charity. At first, I'm like, okay, you know, it's something new, but it wasn't until Jimmy kind of kicked me in the ass to say like, hey man, this is actually really important. You know, this is more than just, you know, you're running an event. You know, this is what the community should do to give back, and that messaging hasn't really been touched upon for a long time.
Yeah, and giving back, you know, that's one thing, but it's also to kind of inspire people to not spend so much time being negative all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Social media has given people the tool to rant, say their opinions, and really be just one-sided and not really see other people's perspective. So by working with charities like Goodwill and other organizations, we're trying to show people, hey, there's a human side to things, and we don't always have to be about us all the time, right? You want to give back in any way you can, whether it's financial, spending time with the people to do other events, or just do community service type things. You know, and that's really one of the key goals why we did this event. It's like, how do we show people there's more than just this vision right here, right? The tunnel vision. There's more to think about, the broader perspective.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because I know on Goodwill's side, when I was convincing on my end on the internally why we should go after and make this event happen, Goodwill itself is kind of in that similar position that you're talking about, the video gamers being, people think of them only as they play video games and that's it.
Yeah.
And in the same way, Goodwill, people kind of think about them as like thrift store only. And we want to like show all of you at home that it's definitely more than a thrift store. There's our Assistive Technology Exchange Center, there's our Goodwill Fitness Center, our Tyranny Center for Veteran Services, all these programs that we showed you on the stream in between matches. We wanted to show that we were just more than where you can buy your Halloween costume in October. But of course, buy your Halloween costume in October as well.
Like the players said, they never knew much about Goodwill, and when they got that tour you guys did on Thursday or Friday, they're like, wow, I didn't know you guys did this stuff. And for me and my wife, we knew about Goodwill, and we saw this as an opportunity that says, hey, there's a lot of good you guys are doing. We just need to show this to others to bring the exposure to say, oh, I actually have an opportunity to work or, overcome my disabilities or overcome my unemployment. And that's like amazing, right? Because you don't know unless you are either told or you see it by chance, right? And hopefully the stream brought a lot of eyes and attention to what you guys are striving for.
Yeah, and in everyday life, right? Like gamers live in a bubble, right? Because you're in a you're in your room, you're playing, you're gaming, right? And then when it's not time to game, now you're on the real world. You have to pay bills, you have to work, you have to do all these things. And when that's over, you quickly run back in. But during those times, you're going to see, like, if it's a family member that needs help, your family, your friend of a family, somebody gets hurt, somebody has a disability issue or a challenge, and then you're like, oh, man, it's actually happening to something revolving around my life. It might not be happening to you now, but people get old. And you're going to start looking at things like this, and you're like, damn, I shouldn't have taken these things for granted. You know, gaming is much more. And by you kicking ass in games and people watching you stream, you have a huge voice in all this. And if gaming can, if we can finally get out of, I mean, we've been done a better job, but if we finally get out of that stigma that we're not helping just because we're just wasting our time playing by doing more events like this, other corporations and, pop culture, everything is going to be reading. It's like, gaming is actually very influential. And gaming is the number one powerful medium in the world in entertainment. Like, that's why you want to see, like, celebrities, singers, actors, all those guys all jump onto games. Right, so it's like an amazing platform to use, and we shouldn't take it for granted.
It's a cool thing to do now.
Yeah.
Right. Before, when we were younger, we were all younger. Stop playing games.
Oh yeah.
You're so blind, right? Like, come on, But now it's acceptable because it can be used as, like you said, the vehicle to do so much more.
Yep.
Right. And I know a lot of you guys give us crap about, I'm into esports. Like, this nothing to do with esports. This is so opposite of esports, right? This is about being a good person.
Yeah.
Goodwill, right? Get good.
Yeah, create goodwill. Or get goodwill, yeah,
So, Kilby, do we have any questions yet, or anybody? No, nobody.
Questions? No one's watching anymore.
Nobody watching. All right, everybody's all like,
I know Smash
who
right now. That's what it is.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Smash. So, who do you think is gonna win the tournament
for Smash?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be. It's a tough one. If Marge is on his game, I think he's the best player in the world. When he's not on his game, I don't think he's the best player in the world.
So he's kind of like a Xiaohai with us.
Yeah.
Xiaohai has really good days
where
he looks just unbeatable, and then he doesn't even place.
Yeah. No, he's not that much like Mars.
Mars always places.
Top end, he's number one in my opinion. Bottom end, he'll probably be. He's like top 25.
Well, I mean, Xiaohai does still place in top 32. I'm just saying.
Right.
But
right in front of us is happening Smash right now.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it, go to twitch.tv/2G Gaming.
Yeah.
Yep. 2G Gaming.
And the shops are still open for donations, so if you want to keep supporting, go ahead.
If those bars pop up for donations, we're going to go ahead and try to do what James and Jeremy did.
We got a question.
All right.
Do you know how much was raised in total? Let me do some quick math off the top of my head.
Right.
The Wireman asks.
So, I know for the online donations, we hit 5,013.
Yeah, and it's still ongoing with the main event for Smash going on.
Yep.
So I'd imagine we have a pretty good shot at hitting that 10,000 if we just keep the donations rolling in. I know in the voting process, because we did that voting contest that was just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
The three-way race in round one between Gunfight, Commander Jesse, and LPN to make it happen. And then once we had all our players, for
sure.
It ended up we ended up raising I think 15,500. So definitely just from the community itself combined, over $20,000.
Right.
Not to mention the other sponsors. We're still getting a final total on what that's going to end up being. So we'll
see. There's still nominations are still happening, right? The online store donations are still going.
The merchandise shop.
Yeah, so we can't really say what the final number is right now.
Right.
But maybe in the future, once you guys are done with the campaign.
So
next question is Goodwill looking to sponsor or possibly thinking about sponsoring events in the future?
I think that's what we're planning to do. I've done a pretty good job, and I think we've done a pretty good job laying the groundwork. And you guys at home would never believe the amount of paperwork that we had to work through just to make sure that everything was above board to make it happen.
Right.
It'd be a shame to let that go to waste.
Sure.
So let's make some more events happen.
It was definitely a learning experience from the project managing side.
Yeah.
Usually Jimmy handles most of the project managing, but I had to get hands-on to get experience on this stuff. And then, going through the paperwork process, because we normally just run events. Obviously we get like the insurance for the event and stuff like that, but there's a lot more than that. And then the follow through too, because coordinating with all the invites, getting the permissions, the contracting, eligibility, and then of course the big learning thing was the Smash GG invites voting process.
Right.
That's for Street Fighter. This was the first time it's ever happened. So thoughts on that process? How did that
before
go?
you answer that question, there's a part 2 for that question was players. I looking at sponsor players.
Sponsoring players too. I think anything's on the table. He's got to make sure it works. I know there's we got 12 players right now that would probably on the A list looking at it.
Yeah, I mean for this event, for you guys wondering, Goodwill is about raising money for the programs, right? Sponsoring players, a possibility if they're looking for like maybe a spokesperson, things like that. But as of right now, we're focusing on trying to expand gaming into like that realm of an actual mainstay in a vehicle to generate like these funds.
Yeah,
right?
the 5-year plan for us is to kind of make this into the AGDQ of fighting games is what we're trying to build this into. And I think, with the team that we've built and all the foundation that we put together, it's within reach.
I mean, we you guys kind of sponsor players this weekend by flying them out, prize pool. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like an indirect sponsorship.
Yeah.
So, like Lux said, maybe down the line after 5 years, maybe we may sponsor us. We're old, right? So, old school Goodwill, right? There you go. So back to your question about the process.
Oh, it's that was always interesting. There were some hiccups getting it off the ground. And I think next year we have a couple of ideas how to make it a little more streamlined for everybody. Because I know, all the things that we get the feedback on, we hear you. We actually read all those suggestions and take it to heart. So we definitely are going to go back to the drawing board on a couple things. But there are a lot of things that worked really well. If some of you were watching the voting system, I mentioned that 3-way race. The first night of eliminations in the Smash GG voting process was probably the most amazing night that I've ever seen in terms of watching multiple streams. And it was crazy. Like I went to Twitch clip Commander Jesse's going into the lead.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time I Twitch clipped it, Gunfight had taken the lead. I tried to go to Gunfights.
We got a donation.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Man. Hit the soundboard on that one. I won't even try to do that.
Let's see that.
That was, what was the name again?
Smash. That was a Smash.
White Smash.
Smash.
Thank you so much for the donation.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention, and as obviously a Street Fighter FGC fan, I was a bit disappointed in the amount of opt-ins because I think it's just it's very new for our community to be a part of this, and I think we have a lot of players worldwide. It was open to anybody, right? It was open to anybody, and they could have submitted, and everybody asked for like, "Yo, where's my opportunity? I wish I could travel to an event, but like there's no locals by my scene." So you're gonna have to kind of be a little bit more proactive. I mean, there are opportunities in front of you, and when there's something like this, of course, when it's from a trusted organization producing it, trusted organization that is like backing it. Feel free to ask this question. Say like, "Hey, I've never done this before. How does it work?" Versus kind of like, "Oh, no one told me." Right? You got to be a little bit more proactive. And if you show some of that, just writing Jimmy or me or whatever, just posting a tweet, we're gonna take you all the way. And that's what we've been doing for so many years when players were just unsure of themselves, like coming into a Southern Hills Golf Land, like they're just walking, playing in the arcades, like, "Oh, what is this? You have a tournament? What's a tournament?" Right? Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like you're stupid. Just
the intimidation also too. That's a big thing.
Yeah. So like, we're here to help, and if you don't put yourself out there, nobody will know. So next time around, if you see an opt-in Smash GG, if you see like Level Up 2GG, bring something up, an opportunity. It's free to enter. Just like, I'm all on it, man. Valle told me it's free. I'm doing it, man. Jimmy told me it's like, I could come out and I could talk to him and speak my heart out. Yes.
And I have a story to tell about that, actually.
Yeah.
On the Smash side, and this is kind of the power that, Valle is talking about. I was just on Twitter, trying to help promote the event, and I got reached out to by an Australian tournament organizer on the Smash side, and he asked me, hey, none of our players were able to go to the the international tournaments, Genesis and Frostbite, to qualify for the event. Could you just throw our major tournament onto the qualifier list? I'm like, yeah, why not? Top 4 for your event? They're like, yeah, that's fine. So that player ended up making it into the into the Invitational.
Creating opportunities for
That's
us.
awesome. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, those are other ways to have like a voting or a qualifier, right? If again, a proactiveness. If you're a local organizer and your surrounding areas are fiending for some action, hit up the main tournament organizers that are doing this. We could possibly put together a little circuit, right? Because the point of collaborating this way is so every one of you guys post your events and we post our events together, so there's so much more visibility. The more visibility, the more eyeballs, the more opportunities, people start clicking and, oh, I see it now. That's how these things work.
Right.
Talking about opportunities, we had a question that, are you guys looking to do more events to bring in clothes for like the homeless, like clothes drives, food drives, things like that?
It's funny you mentioned that because before I got into the department that I'm in now at Goodwill, the department that I was in, I actually oversaw all the county's donation events for collecting clothing for endeavors like this, for like our Wiley's Closet that helps people that have lower income and can't actually afford even the lower prices at Goodwill stores, and hooking them up with like business clothes to go to their first interview. So that's stuff that's already happening, around. You check out the website ocgoodwill.org. Yeah. We do like a youth program where we partner up with different youth organizations in Orange County, so like high school bands, football teams.
Now, for those who like can't even afford clothes, right? Are you doing programs to help people like that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. At the like that Wiley's Closet, where people can, if they come in that program, actually we'll hook them up so that they have business clothes, so that they're able to get that job interview, so that that they look professional when they want to.
Yeah, I definitely like to maybe do a series of events as like the question asked.
Yeah,
to do that.
For sure.
I'm not sure if you guys at home know, we did a toy drive, courtesy of our local TOs in Oakland. Helped Wednesday Night Fights. They did a toy drive. They raised a bunch of money for cancer organizations, and they're actually right here. Rose, what's up?
Yep.
She's right there. Our main head that did all the charitable.
She's like, why are you waving to me? What did I do?
Like, what? But yes, I mean, along that line, we can probably do that. Maybe we do, like, Alex, Alex, how about we do a tour of the different cities to do clothes drives for Goodwill, and that way we can get old. Man, we all have a closet full of old clothes we never wear. It's been sitting there for like 5 years.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I have when we're done with all this today, I gotta go home and sort like 3 bags of stuff that I've been. Yeah, because
there you go.
If you have a significant other at home, especially one that's very demanding of your time, trust me, you got to do good, and you got to clean out that closet. I know a lot of people hoard clothes and shoes and all these goodies, but
a lot of people can benefit from your
definitely
quote unquote waste, right?
Speaking of the clothes, I have to ask you one question. You're talking about cleaning out your closets.
I know where this is going, dude.
where there's the whole Marie Kondo thing that's been the fad lately. Did your fashion clothes items that you went out for, or walked the catwalk in, did they spark joy in you? Are you going to keep them?
I didn't know I was aware. I wasn't aware.
Oh, by the way,
of course you can keep them, man.
Let me rephrase that. Valle, you are able to keep those clothes. That's our gift to you. Gonna look very surfer-like for forever.
Here's the funny thing. So I go to Hawaii every so years, and then I remember Alex asking the question, "Hey man, how's it in Hawaii?" I'm like, "It's humid as hell. You're always gonna be in shorts and Hawaiian short or a t-shirt in some fashion." So when I saw him walk out in that, I'm like, dude, that's the perfect clothes to wear on his first trip to Hawaii.
Okay, so I normally wear a lot of dark clothing. Okay,
yes, you do.
I do.
He's going through his golf days.
But what I've been trying to do for the past 2 to 3 years is, around summer I have been leaning onto some spring clothes, and at Evo I've been wearing a lot of shorts. So I've been experimenting and stuff. That's when around about a few years ago, that's when I asked you, because yeah, one day I will be going to Hawaii or the islands or something.
Yeah.
And, so I need to start getting a bit more confident in bright colors. Because
Right.
normally I'm a little on the chunkier side these days, but when I wear light clothing or pastel colors, whatever, it just yeah. So I'm like, all right, I need to work on a couple things. So I started playing basketball again. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it. So when I saw that, when I saw the fashion stylista or picked that for me, I'm like, I'm just going with that, because all the other stuff, I don't want to look bougie, or I don't want to look like I'm trying too hard. I don't want to work like I'm trying too hard. I want to go with, oh yeah, that's Uncle at the beach. That's how it was. Uncle at the beach. Man.
So I saw something flash on the screen. Was that a question, Romy?
Something about fashion show. What was the idea behind the fashion show?
Good question. Because that was hella random when I saw the schedule. And I'm like, what? Fashion show?
So the idea behind the fashion show was, as you were mentioning, the intent behind this event was to kind of push the players out of their comfort zone and show different sides of them, and show that they're not just playing video games only. And of course, Goodwill people know their thrift stores, and the original idea, conceived behind it was we were going to try to get the players, when we invited them for a tour, to have them run through and literally grab clothing there and then, and do a fashion show that way. However, when we were talking that over with our marketing department, they thought that maybe the players that were involved with it might not want to get out of their comfort zone and pick something really boring. So that's where the idea of getting other fashion influencers that are local to help us out and pick out some fashions. Otherwise, we might have ended up with dark clothing Valle instead of surfer dude Valle. So.
No, it was a great experience. I saw when everybody was grabbing their clothes, they were really happy. Like I saw. Okay, so me and Gunfight were one of the first ones to go pick our clothes out, and then we were changing, and I'm like, hey man, that actually totally looks like something you would wear in springtime, because he had a pink shirt and like a jacket. He was springtime color. And then when I put my stuff on, he goes, yeah, you can go to the beach. I'm like, because he's French. I'm like, yeah, this is the beach wear. So, and of course, I'm gonna give it up to the Smash community. They walked it. They walked out, and because they're so young, they're just like, yeah, look at me, and super confident with their gear. So it was a great experience, man. I really enjoyed it.
And that's awesome, because the funny story behind that was we almost didn't get that situation backstage behind in production. We had been asking Mena for his clothes size for like days and days and days, and then finally they were like, yo, we really need to pick someone. All right, I have a backup plan. Hold on, let me figure that out. And
question is coming up, so keep going.
But we were like, let me figure that out, and then I hit up. I'm like, hey, by the way, no, actually, I had asked Mena. We were in a group chat. I asked Mena for his clothes size, and then you thought it was me messaging you, because I've been messaging you all the time for the event. So you just responded with your clothes size randomly. So I'm like, hey, Valle, I already have your clothes size. Just want to be in the fashion show. You're like, all right, that's fine. That's if you have to.
Totally fine.
So we got a question about gaming circuits again. I think, as this is year one.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe, as Goodwill gets their footing more into the gaming world, it's a possibility that you may see Goodwill on big old tours.
Yeah.
So
it's it's something that we definitely want to build. Like, as I said, we want this to be the first of many steps that we take into the community. We're off to a really good start, and we'll just keep pushing forward. If organically it becomes a major circuit, it's the way to go, and that one is what makes sense. Then
we'll do
it.
the keyword organically, right? We don't want anything forced, right? You don't want like a forced fault. What do you call it? When boy bands are created in false pretense, whatever, or just because we're doing this, because gaming is cool, we're doing the cool thing. It's like you don't want to be another esports company, right? Because everyone's like, oh man, it's so fake. All they care about is this, and all you want is money. Well, remember, it's not about giving money and making money. It's more about being a good person.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to actually build communities, not right. They actually interact with each other.
Yeah.
Not just like you suck or blah, 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 beep, 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 right. It's. I mean, before technology, we had that connection with people on that personal level, right? And we want to bring that back. Because now with technology, it's all artificial.
Oh, we got a donation. Ralph Nader.
Ralph
Nader
Nader
donated $6.90.
I think he was trying to offset the change there, but it's at 92 cents now. James Chen's OCD would be crying right now.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. Another thing to mention about like game circuits and exhibitions and stuff like that. Well, you got to also consider it's Goodwill, right? So, or even if it's another charitable organization, can't always just think of the esports side of it. You got to think of like what is your community doing out of the goodness of your heart, and associated with gaming, right? It could be a casual sets, right? There's so many different programs and productions you can run on it. Collaborations, it can be one person, right? One person can do a charitable drive. You can do like but all this won't happen without the FGC, and they're struggling with this. The FGC needs to produce content. You need to be visible. You need to have great personality or a personality, because just playing ranked streams and yelling is not gonna really do well. It might work for some, but they've been doing it for years, and they were probably the first ones. So the scene always evolves. So we got to think about new ideas to collaborate these things. You know, it's not just as easy as like I'm gonna do the same, like if it's a Capcom Pro Tourist type of circuit. You know, you don't want to do too much of the same thing. You want to do something unique and fresh, and hopefully, it can grow from there.
Yeah. Before I expand upon what you said, we got a question for you.
Let me fill in. All right, so Goodwill is a bunch of different nonprofit organizations. They're overseen by an overarching brand called Goodwill International, and then there are Goodwill affiliate, nonprofits across the country, as well as in a few other countries. Canada comes to mind. Each of those Goodwills, like Goodwill of Orange County, is its own individual nonprofit with its own individual board of directors. And some of the Goodwills, while they have similar programs, being, the main function being helping people with barriers or people with disabilities find and keep meaningful employment, other Goodwills have very distinct and unique specialty programs. Like, we kind of pride ourselves on being very on the progressive end in terms of our programs that you guys got to see at home in a lot of those videos that we shared. And some of the other Goodwills, they do different programs that are just as worthwhile. So if wherever you're watching, check out your local Goodwill and, maybe see what specialty programs they're running, what kind of impact that they have on their community as well.
Yep. And going back to your point, Alex, about, doing good, right? As human beings, we all want to feel good, right? And the only way to really feel good is if there's good out there to receive. The only way to receive something is if you give good, right? I mean, we can sit here all day and whine and complain about things, but why don't you talk to somebody who needs help? They're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel good, right? So the more positivity that spreads, the more there is to siphon, and benefit from. And by doing stuff with the community, whether it's FGC, helping out a small business, work at the library, things that touch people every day. Yeah, we can definitely tip the scale back to more positive than negative as we're seeing in the world now.
Oh, we got another question from the in-house. Who decided on the mystery game? And why was it James Chen allowed? Wow.
We decided on the mystery game, right? That one day we were like, Alex and I were racking up ideas.
Okay, so for number one, who doesn't know how to play Tetris?
Well, apparently some people didn't know how to play.
Apparently the Street Fighter players don't know how to play Tetris because the Smashers.
The new Street Fighter players, we know how to play Tetris.
Man, I had high hopes, and it just didn't work out that way. So now I understand. There's particular games that the youngins can't play yet. But you know what? I mean, we tried. It would have been really hype though, because if they were going at it. Because Tetris does get really fast-paced. Yeah. And I know I was on the whole Tetris 99-bit.
Right.
And I was streaming it. And you know what? People just I understand why people watch that now. They watch me to lose.
Yep. Someone else's misery, someone else's joy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like we were like, because Tetris 99 had just come out, and we were thinking of ideas for the run of show, and we're like, why don't we just make them play Tetris 99? And we're like, okay, that sounds like a great idea. So thank you Huff Puff 10 for donating
so
$10.
much.
Huff Puff 10 donated $10.
But we had it on the runner show for like a month practically. This is what we're running, the mystery game. Don't tell anyone. It's Tetris 99. And then one day, one of us woke up and said, "Hey, how do we make them play each other in Tetris 99? It doesn't have a actual IRL matchmaking system." So we're like, "Oh shoot!" So kind of last minute, we had to bring in the player
Can you imagine
Tetris.
if you guys made them play Tetris Nintendo? Oh my gosh, both would have died at the same time somehow.
Yeah. When I was watching Punk play, he was like building pillars. And, he was building like.
He's like, this is a game of Fortnite.
He was building Rome, all crumbling. I'm like, wait, what are you do? What are you doing, dude? Yeah, he's all, I don't know how to play this, man. You give me this game, can't whip punish.
The funny part was when he was there commentating before he had to go out to play. He was like, "Man, I ain't gonna lose."
Oh, he really said that?
Yeah, he said that. He said, so I thought he was gonna be like some hot stuff, right? And yeah, you saw.
I can already think of the marketing campaign for next year's side events. I was telling Valle about this. So already at the we need to get that clip of Punk saying I ain't gonna lose, and then we'll show him getting bodied in Tetris, and then we'll have like just brooms pounding because the Smashers swept the Street Fighter players.
So here's the thing. You know what inspired like old school gamers, even before me and Jimmy's time, is like. Back then, when those, like the world's records of like Donkey Kong and the high score stuff.
Salem donated $1.
Yep.
Hit the third strike sound.
So then moving on to like a little bit more modern era from there. Ooh, there it is.
Wrong one.
The movie, like
it's the very first one, top left. Top left.
He's confused. But like the Wizard, right? Remember that? Where the point I'm trying to make is we were really good at a lot of little poverty games, or the early Nintendo games, or the early Atari games. So now, what I've noticed is that there are only specific games that the new generation can play.
Yeah.
Before they get too bored, or they're just, they're
too challenged.
Too challenged for it. Yeah.
I'm serious.
It's
a 5-minute world now, right?
I'm not.
Mobile games have ruined it.
Look, I'm not calling out every new generation, but I just see a lot of them. There are the exceptions that are truly geniuses at a lot of gaming, but if you go back to the 90s and you go to an arcade, you'll see one guy, you'll play one game, you'll see one guy, one game. 5 minutes later, you'll see him jumping on, 4 other games. And you're like, what? We played everything.
You know that?
We played everything.
That was $5 of quarters to do that. $5.
We played everything.
Adjusted for inflation, that might be like hundreds of dollars.
A quarter to a quarter.
But yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Everybody has an arcade at home, and they're like, you ever see the meme of 80s toys and years 2000s toys, and a kid like a little bubble? So you see kind of like hopscotch and handball and jacks and and then the kids all like, I'm having so much fun. In the 2000s, you got like the cell phones, like Nintendo DS's, like
your
Xbox, your iPod, and they're like 2 minutes later, I'm so bored.
Shroud donated $1. Hit the soundbite.
Wait, Shroud?
There you go.
Like the mega Twitch streamer Shroud, like the millionaire Shroud?
I don't know. Could be. I don't know.
That's not it.
Send another donation to confirm. Just say yes or no.
Hitbox plays friendlies.
Hitbox plays friendlies. Thank you for
$1.
Dollar donation.
Hey, I forgot. We did break 5K.
Yeah.
Oh, we did? All right.
Right there.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that. Hit the horn. DJ horn. There we go. So going back to the
wow.
Sharon, that is so good. What were we talking about again? Damn.
We're talking about mystery games and quarters and inflation rates.
So
and things like
we're
that.
trailing off tangents here. Let's talk about some highlights of this event this weekend.
Yep.
For those who missed it, or didn't get a chance to see the entire broadcast, obviously we have it on the replays. But what was your favorite moment or moments this weekend?
Wii boxing.
Wii
boxing
Oh
was
my
off the
God.
chain. Like,
Oh my gosh. Wii boxing was amazing because Light ripped everybody. I was like, this guy must play Wii boxing all day and all night.
Did you not see him in little Mac gear?
Dude, I did
Yeah,
see
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I did see him. When he was warming up, I was like, wow.
But you missed it though. When he was up there, he was making the he was making that sound.
Wow.
I'm like, this guy has that at home. Yo, JP's all, what's going on? And Punk's all, nah, this is, you know what, man? This is a Nintendo game. Why you put Nintendo games versus Street Fighter? Huh? You're like, dude, that guy destroyed everybody. He knew exactly what he was doing. Combos and power hits.
Super concentrated.
It was super free.
So, my favorite moment of Wii boxing.
we got a donation coming in. $40.
$40
from
in
Ajax.
the house.
$40.
All right.
We're about to break 5,100.
Shout outs to Ajax. Ajax is
Ajax.
actually one of the commentators on the Smash side. He's one of our headlining
Is he
commentators.
donating while he's commentating? That's
he-
amazing.
he
Well,
might
yo,
be.
so he's donating?
I don't know.
Is he commentating now? Oh, yeah, he is commentating, right?
And he's
Wait,
donating.
no, it's
Right?
it's no, it's he had a block
It's
earlier
somebody.
today, so
All
he's,
right,
he's
well.
off somewhere doing something.
All right, going back to Wii boxing. When Street Fighter got that 1 KO win was amazing. One knockdown win.
Oh, that was Big Bird.
Yeah, Big Bird. And I was like, what happened?
But
Why did they pick him for the tiebreaker?
so
He got lucky.
Oh,
guaranteed.
okay,
He
you
got
see, okay,
lucky.
so Big Bird was not even moving. He was just like stiff and doing this. While everybody was like moving their feet.
Temple
Oh,
Zero donated
Zero?
$1. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so it looked pretty suspect right there. Like I think Jimmy's right.
He got lucky
looked
with the
really lucky.
haymaker, and then somehow he couldn't wake himself up. But Street Fighter got bodied. Like I say.
The other funny moment for me was when Phenom was at the end of Jenga, and it was his turn, and we were counting him down, and we were like, "Yo, Phenom, you need to make a move, big guy. Come on."
Yeah, I think
Well,
next time we need to put minute timers.
Yeah, we had it counting down, but you could see in his eyes, like, "Oh man, this is
He panicked.
This is the end."
And he picked the worst possible.
He picked the one that had like 3 on 3 on 3. I'm like, why would you pick that? Why? Sorry.
Yeah.
What are your guys' favorite? What's your highlight, Jimmy?
My highlight has to be James Chen sitting here after the whole Puyo Puyo segment. He goes, man, that was so painful to watch. Oh, you have no idea. Like, he was raging.
Yeah,
Like, he couldn't play.
He was,
He was getting stabbed in the kidney or something. It's like, why? Come on. You know?
We could have spared him from that. Like he was originally not on the not on the schedule to commentate that because the mystery game was right before the fashion show, and we wanted to make sure everybody had time to do the or get changed for the fashion show. But last minute, we were like, I think we can logistically make this work. Let me put James Chen at the very end of the fashion show. So that's why he was the anchor. It was mostly for logistics reasons, more so than everything else. So just so that we could make sure to get him on the microphone for Tetris. But it might have just been and he was excited about it until I guess it was probably a self-inflicted wound.
Right. He was
painful for
hurting.
him.
But outside of the misery highlights, I think my favorite moment was when we had Smash and Street Fighter on a couch to commentate Tetris. I mean, it was pretty fun to hear those guys go back and forth about the game. And other segments too when we had two communities together. It's always fun to see that happen on stream because we always had that stigma of Smash isn't FGC and FGC hates Smash and vice versa and whatnot, right? So to see that happening pretty organically on stream, that was a big highlight for me.
For me, it was definitely charades. Man, so like I know we were talking about how to plan the logistics behind it, and there was many different variations of what we're gonna do, but the easiest one was just pick from a hat or a bag.
Or for the bag, right?
And we so you told me like, hey, get these moves. I'm like, yeah, get the specials and get the V triggers because that's a lot. That's a lot for every character. And so I think it was one of the things that one of them got clipped was Gotcha-kun, right? And that was going to be the challenge because first is can he actually read the moves? And so we talked to him. He goes, okay, yeah, okay. He goes, okay. I'm all right. So he did the Ibuki Kunai. He's all like, he did that. I'm like, oh my god.
All right, so expanding on highlights of the charades.
Wow.
When Punk did Guile's V trigger.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how do people know that was his V trigger?
Oh yeah.
And like, wow, his teammates got like that. Wow, I guess it must be the universal for multiple sonic booms, right?
I can say it, but my little nephew Punk, he can confirm pixels, but he's pretty lanky. You know, like my man, he can't. When he's doing stuff, it's like
the Punk Aegis reflector. Can someone remind me?
The Punk Aegis reflector.
He did raise the roof instead of like, right? Is that what he did?
Oh my god. Punk, he's all like, eh.
Yeah, everyone knows Aegis reflectors like that, right?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he went like this, like raise the roof. It's like totally wrong.
And Jesse, he could only do Dhalsim or Sakura moves. He didn't know anybody else.
Oh yeah, he kept throwing in and out.
It. Oh man, yeah, I got. It's good that we made that call versus like all the generic ones, because we were just gonna make it easy and just have like, Fireball, Tatsu, and all the iconic ones. But no, I think Mena actually was was really good at it too, because when we did the testing part, remember they couldn't figure out Karen. That's right. Okay, well yeah, Mena was really good, but that actually triggered me because how did they not know? And then he did this.
What's this?
Yeah. So that's the start of it. When she
when she does
the V trigger activation, and then the Rekkas. But see, what they should have done was first the iconic win poses or intros of the character, know what it is, because I'm gonna actually have to give it up to the Smash guys. They had 2 bags, okay. They had one bag that is a drawing of a character and another bag of the move.
that was my idea. Thank you.
Good job, Lux.
So when I was watching, you guys got to understand that Smash has over 75 characters.
Dude, those bags were heavy with sheets of paper.
Over that many characters, and on top of that, to act out some of their moves, the funniest one I saw was Void and Larry Lur. So Void comes out and he goes, right, and he goes, Palatina! when he went like this, right? Right? And he goes, Palatina! And then he Void rolls over and he goes, up air! I'm like, wait, what?
Wow.
I didn't know that one.
I was. Did someone clip it?
Somebody clipped it.
Can we find that clip and play it on the stream?
No. It's.
Oh gosh.
It's somewhere in there.
All right.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot of fun stuff and.
Some people find it.
Yeah. Part of the appeal to all of this is, our personalities, right? We got to see what's in the fun part of all our players.
Thank you for $1.
Leffin retires? Is that why there's a ghost?
No, he'll never retire. But yeah, everybody outside of brushing each other down on tournaments, then you'll get like a semi-awkward interview. How did you feel, and what's your expectations going into the next match? Some are great interviews, but most of the time it's just that, and then they play, and then a medal, right? But you never really get to see them, how they really are with just random activities, because only if you go to the event. If you go to the event itself and you happen to play them casually, you might actually get a bit of their personalities. Or if you happen to be in the same restaurant where you guys are eating and you'll see them laughing and stuff, and all the things that are non-gaming or whatnot. That's what makes it special. The camaraderie part is real. That's actually, I mean, you're seeing it right here, right? Over how many years now, Jimmy? 20?
I've known you since 98.
98, 20 years. 20 years!
And when are you going to be old enough to party by itself? 21 years.
What part with Valle?
No, it's you're knowing each other to be 21 years old.
Oh, gotcha.
Old enough to party
Man.
at that point.
Valle, young Valle, party mode.
Okay, yeah. That stuff.
I couldn't keep up, man. I was about all my studies. Can't get my degree. But Alex did keep it real though when we played Street Fighter for sure.
Yeah, Street Fighter at that time was
It was our social media.
Oh man, dude, that era was so crazy. You guys, if you guys never actually experienced a very hostile environment, just because of society, not just because of the players, but just like you're trying to play a game, and then some random person comes in, probably doesn't even go to the arcade. He just happened to stop by to go in the bathroom, and he just kind of like, "What are you doing?" Pitching you aside the head. It was just, that time was crazy. No matter where you lived in. And that's what we just had to play through. Like, somebody opened the door, we look back. No, I'm serious. I don't know if I ever told you, but yeah, because I was very young and 14, 15, trying to get better at these games. I had a phobia of not sitting in an area in a fast food restaurant that I could not see the exit doors. So I had to sit in a corner to see
Jamie James.
Yeah, to see
Double
where
J.
yeah, to
$5.
see where people are coming from, because
Thank you, Jamie James.
back then there was a lot of fights, there was violence and craziness going on, and that was just, if you read any of the LA riots and all that stuff, that's real. All that stuff is a daily thing at the time. So, and my friends used to be in bad situations, so kind of like, all right, I don't like that, man. So
Street Fighter actually meant Street Fighter back then too.
Yeah. So, so I ended up playing, games, and played sports, and I stayed in my path, and everybody else played in the other path. So like, you guys may happen to know a gentleman by the name of Snake Eyes, Mr. Darryl Lewis. He grew up in South Central, and luckily he didn't get sucked into that type of life either. So we had the similarities too, right? Where I didn't come up in no South Central, but I mean, that's the
Long Beach in the house.
The society back then was brutal. So, anyways, where I'm going with this is that we are in such a better situation where everybody can come out and walk around the streets and have a great. Okay. I don't remember what event it was. It was even recent. We were in Red Bull. We were at the Red Bull summoning. And I've never seen so many people out at night like
in
that
downtown LA.
In downtown LA.
Crazy.
Because you if you were ever downtown LA in the 90s, bro, it's
all about accessibility now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's like, we're in this generation where accessibility and opportunity is there.
Yeah.
It's just, you gotta go look for it. You can't just sit there like, give it to me, or feel like you're owed something, right? But let's talk about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that happened at Goodwill with the players. Because you give them access to the venue, the offices, and talk about what their reactions were when they saw that people had access to these technologies and programs, right? I mean, that's what the shock value is always there. But I want to hear from you, like, and also Alex, you were there too, like what they experienced, what they expressed, what their opinions were, and what they really said.
It's an interesting, because I'm working in this department. I've done a lot of tours, but most of my tours have been for, I guess, rich people, like, for lack of a better term, but
right.
Potential donors on the higher end. And it was nice to kind of go and give a tour to people that were, that are my peers,
right.
Other Smash players, other FGC, community members, and having to do a tour and being able to kind of not have to be super professional about it and just kind of can actually play into who I am made the tour so much more fun than any other tour that I've ever done. It was a little scary taking, like all 30 people that we had between the players and the commentators through the, through the area. And it's definitely the biggest tour that I went through. And if you've ever been behind a Goodwill in the back of the store, at least our corporate headquarters is a giant warehouse with forklifts going through.
Right,
I'm telling
right.
everybody, find a tour buddy, hold on to them, and
Don't get lost.
no casualties on this trip is on our goal, and we made it through. Everyone seemed to enjoy it, and then we had lunch. Everyone seemed to enjoy that, and had a discussion and giving a talk to them about all of our programs and services, and some of the. You guys got to see it firsthand when he gave you the tour of the fitness center, but it's always fun for me to see how they look when they come into the Goodwill and they just and they see, oh yeah, it's a thrift store. There's a bunch of stuff, but then when they actually see and learn about the programs, it's kind of the change in the look in their eye when they're at the building is just one of the best things for me, for my job on a day in and day out
you kind of see those thought tunnels opening in their mind, like, wow, and this is really a real thing, that's cool. Right. And so, Alex, I know you're closer to the players in terms of how you talk to them or when you hang out with them. What did they tell you, from a FGC perspective?
Okay, so Jesse looked really interested in how this team came together because when we sat down for your presentation, and he was like looking at stuff, and he goes, "Well, I had no idea there was just more than just the thrift stores, right?" And also with the young generation. So Punk, he's young, right? So like he was just like, when you're that young and you're getting these opportunities, you don't know how to kind of like. How do you even think about giving back when you're trying to come up? So he's still in that come up, and he's looking at around this, and it might look oblivious to it, but he's, and this is going to happen to a lot of young people. When you're starting to win events, you're thinking of stuff that you've never received before, and you're getting it, and you're getting it, and you're getting it. So some of these things are going to come about you where. Like, oh yeah, I'll join because I'm gonna get money out of it or whatnot. But you are now like the face of of this whole campaign or a part of it, and it might not hit you. And I think at Punk, it's been starting to grow. At first, he looked like, oh, I'm just here and I'm just gonna body fools, and that's why he's talking like that, right? But then. After a while, like he goes, this is really cool, man. Like, I had no idea. Like, this is just going on, and you guys take care of me and stuff. We even had Chipotle for upstairs, and I know Brian F. is all like, I don't know why you guys don't like Chipotle in SoCal because we have a lot of Mexican food over here. No, it's not that. But took care of the players really well. There's not that many, at least from. Jimmy and I work with a lot of organizations. We work with a lot of organizations, and the amount of support that's given to everybody, Smash and the Street Fighter side, has been nothing but like amazing.
SmashVods.tv. Thank you for $3. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the one Japanese player that came, Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What was his feedback? What was his experience with the whole eyes opening of Goodwill and everything? Was he able to share any of his thoughts?
So,
fast food Jesus or Jesus. So $25. Thank you.
So, Gotcha was interesting because we were, of course, the language barrier, but he actually understands a lot of English. He might not be able to reply as much, but I can see that. If you're like as a Red Bull athlete, he's actually being more involved in trying to do good things. Like he's already been doing good things. He's been, he already knows the spiel. So when he saw this opportunity to hit him up, his manager told me, "Wow, this is an amazing idea." He's actually very interested in coming out. He trusts our organization of running the event. But then as we gave more information about Goodwill and the intentions, he goes, I think this is an event that's good, for me, right? He's coming from being a Capcom Cup champion, right? And, kind of like if you're, it's going to be a funny comparison, but if you're like a beauty pageant winner, right? It doesn't end there.
Nope.
Now you're out there, you're an ambassador of bringing good to the world, right? And he's doing his part. This is one of the things that it's not just being a winner. It's like I'm gonna bring this up. This is gonna kind of put me on blast a little bit, but what you ever see those Facebook inspiration high school or college what do they call them when the celebrity comes in and says here, hey guys, you're gonna step into the big world now, etc., etc.
Like motivational speech.
Yeah. So I saw one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. And he said there's like 5 things that you need to do in this world, and the last one is give back.
Yep.
Okay, because he talked about like on his beginning ones, he goes, have a vision, right? Do it, right? And it just keeps going. But the last one's give back. So he brought up stuff where he's like some lanky guy, and he saw Hercules, the old school stuff. And saw big dudes, and he just wanted to work out. How is somebody from all the way in no name, Europe gonna make it like a Hollywood star? And my name is all funky, and and my accent's bad, so anybody can do it. But even after you obtain all this success, you got to give back. And what Gachikun is doing, and Mena, right? Yeah. Punk, like they are ambassadors of doing good, and hopefully this opens their eyes in the future. And Gachikun is really excited to be here.
Yeah, no, and we kind of gave the players an opportunity when we, Fast Food Jesus again, $25.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fast Food Jesus.
$25 to get a lot of fast food.
That's a lot of fast food. That's a lot of cheeseburgers, man. That might
2 for $3
enough
McDonald's.
to fill me up in my big body. But we gave the players the opportunity to opt out because we realized that some of these side events were a little out there. They might be a bit much.
Yep.
Gachikun's like, I'll do any of them, no big deal. Like, he did not opt out of anything. Yep. So,
And, we do need more of these type of events to show the light side of things, right? Because tournament competition is just serious sometimes. Mm-hmm. And just to show that, we can have fun too, right? It's very, very important.
And speaking of those opportunities, you mentioned Mena being a good sport about all the things. One of the things that actually you guys were not involved in, we during that tour on, it's 2 days ago. Man, it feels like it's been a lifetime since.
I know.
But back on Friday, back in the dark ages of 2 days ago, there was a ray of light. We had Mena and Esam. They were given the opportunity to sit down and talk to a local elementary school district, the Anaheim Elementary School. They actually have an esports program with a full curriculum about, production, marketing, playing, working as a team and strategy and stuff like that. And they reached out to us and said, we see that you have all these professional players. Would you be willing to have them come and talk to these kids about, becoming a professional esports
Is this
player?
RMS's school?
No.
This is different?
No, so this actually happened right during his presentation at Goodwill with the players. Mm-hmm. So some players, Esam and Mena, they were excused early because they had to go to this seminar thing, like talking to the kids. And I saw it when I went with Gunfight to go change for the fashion show. And I'm like, oh, that's right, they're doing this thing. And they were talking to like a room full of like kids.
No, right, but
it
is this RMS's school?
No, it wasn't.
And it wasn't a different one?
No.
I know his school does like a full esports program or gaming program too.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, a lot of those are new. And you know what? I wish there was more of that going on.
Definitely.
Like back then, did you ever had a guidance counselor to tell you that you can do any of these things?
Had to figure it out myself.
Right?
Look where I'm at now. I'm good, dude.
Well, I mean,
you're a hard worker, man. You gotta do it. No, but yes, to have more things that we can help guide the youth is great. I mean, at SCR we had our talk with the RMS's kids, and you can tell some were like really paying attention to what we were saying.
Yeah, you don't have to be the best player.
Nope.
You can just love the games. All right, you can be the worst player. It doesn't matter as long as you're having fun playing this game. But however, you are good at something. It can be various trade skills that you may complement the scene with. From being a good artist or even passionate about these things, and you can even learn with us. Right? We have at Wednesday Night Fights, we have volunteers that come all the time every month just to see how it is. Like they tell me like, oh hey Valle, is it cool if I help you guys out with Wednesday Night Fights? I watch it every week, and I live 10 minutes away. I might as well come out. I'm like, of course, yeah. What are you interested in? So, I don't know. Tell me what's available. I'm like, well, there's bracket running. There's camera. There's production stuff. You can help with the social media posting. But well, we wear many hats because this type of industry, you don't really
eat chicken, get thick.
Yeah. Eat chicken, get thick. Yeah, you
protein.
Thank you. $10.
Let's go. Thank you.
I got my chicken in my life.
You learn constantly, and so. I implore all of you guys to learn this stuff. Wow, up tilt. Oh, because
it's connected. Yeah. It's been funny. That's one of the things to see. Like, well, randomly watching the Smash tournament, someone's like Sakura needs nerfs, and then Taco's up tilt now, and it's because they're connected. So it's been interesting sharing.
So talk about learning and career building. Just talk about some of the Goodwill programs that help people acquire skills to add to their skill set that they before never had.
Yeah. We have quite a few programs overall. Our bread and butter programs are the ones where we work with people with various barriers or disabilities and, hook them up with training. But that training can come in a variety of forms.
I touch Rod's cereal. Hey, don't touch the man's cereal, man, especially when there's milk in it.
There's chicken and waffle cereal.
Some of the programs, we have some situations where we'll assign people a job coach where they will actually, because if their barrier is strong enough that they need that extra help and coaching, they'll actually work with them and take them out into a community-based setting. It's actually called community-based services, where they will coach them and guide them through, going to the mall or going to the park or something like that, and just kind of helping them acclimate to a social setting. And we have that same model where we'll actually take people into business places and sort of teach them how to function in a business setting in a professional world. We also have things along the lines of soft skills training at our Human Resources Center. Give people mock interviews, teach them to write resumes, different things like that. And I already mentioned the closet program that we give people hook people up with the clothing in case they need to do an interview and they don't have professional clothing and they absolutely can't afford it. Other job, we have direct job placement where we actually develop out within the Orange County community and hook people up with different jobs, especially on our veteran services side. One of the things that we've been telling you at home is our veteran services program. We have direct job placement opportunities with them, and the average starting wage for our veteran services program, $25 an hour, which is pretty pretty significant.
Wow,
so,
that's huge.
Yeah, it's in California that. It doesn't go as far as it would in other places, but it's it's a pretty good life.
It's something.
It's still good.
Right.
So a follow-up question to that. So I know a lot of the videos we saw this weekend throughout the broadcast and some of the guests we had are more the older generation, right?
Yeah.
Do your services cater to the younger generation too?
Yeah, especially more so on the Assistive Technology Exchange Center program. That's the one with the videos you saw where people are connected with equipment and technology to help them live more independently. Some of the success stories being like, a teacher that went blind in an accident. We were able to hook her up with a specialized computer to let her, be able to go back into the classroom and teach effectively. But we also have a specific segment of that department that's dedicated to serving children. So, they'll go through and not only teach the kids how to use this equipment and give them or loan them equipment if the family can't afford it. It also give consultation to the parents and the full family and how to best help their child or their sibling or what have you use and operate that equipment and make it a full supportive network. So I think ATEC is probably our best program that works with kids, and they do a lot of outreach into school districts and things like that.
Sedge Hog.
$5. Thank you.
Sedge, also another commentator here as well. But yeah, that ATEC program I think does a really good job, reaching out to kids and working with.
So what about the job placement stuff, the resume things? A lot of kids. Sorry, I don't call it kids, teens who graduate college or don't go to college. You have programs for them.
Yeah, we have a variety of programs. So, one of those questions before they mentioned, can a student or, are we going to do anything with like clothes drives and stuff like that? Actually, some of the programs.
Salt the Wizard Art.
For $2. Thank you so much for $2. One of the programs that we operate currently actually is we partner up with a lot of the local high school organizations, and we run charity drives where they collect clothing items like that, and Goodwill will in turn donate, based off the volume they collect, donate money to fuel their programs, whether it's like, their cheerleading team or their football organization. So that's one avenue. We work with a lot of the local high schools.
Okay.
I already mentioned, ATEC goes actually into schools and tries to consult, in situations along those lines. Cool. Just a variety of different things for a variety of different age demographics.
So is ATEC the one where it was the video that we saw? This girl was showcasing like this video board.
Yeah.
Where you can communicate with like the pictures, and just like, because there's a lot of people that have trouble speaking or communicating, and it has like pictures of water, door, like all the necessities, and it gets all crazy too.
Yeah.
So it starts as a little tablet to like a big one or a sliding one. So it's amazing stuff. I had no idea that. Like that type of stuff is that type of stuff is extremely important.
Yeah.
Are we still live?
Yeah.
We lost our camera feed.
Yeah, we just lost the feed.
I don't want to look at me anyway.
The video.
There it is. There it is.
So now I understand your answer. So
yeah,
places like ATEC.
ATEC
can hire college grads to work on this stuff, right?
It's a lot of it. There's actually specialized requirements because that they're required to work with. Again, because it is like a specialty, a specialty level of work that they would do. So I necessarily wouldn't be one that wouldn't go towards internships.
Okay.
I know like Goodwill as a whole, they have a lot of opportunities. I mean, just last summer we had 2 interns that kind of I helped oversee and had to create a curriculum for them to work on some stuff.
That's what I'm talking about, opportunities within the organization.
And I know that as a whole, we're trying to revamp our volunteer program, and especially so that we can start reaching out more towards those high school students and college
Qatar donated $5.
Something as an organization we try to do, but like anything else, we could always be better about, pretty much anything that we do, and that's what we want to do. So if you're interested in volunteering, just hit me up on Twitter, and even if you're not local to Orange County, I'm connected enough with the different, Goodwills across the country. I'm sure that I could, if, we put in a good word that, if the fighting game community means well and they want to do good things, so that's something that we might be able to help out with and try to make something happen.
Great.
Yeah, if you guys are interested at home, or if you're an up-and-coming local organizer, you should think about running your own drives, charitable events. They're really fun. Everybody will feel good about it. Like they come out, and you can do it in various ways where the prize bonus or everything goes directly to the charitable organization. You can do like enter by bringing an old toy in or clothing or something, and just send that over. You can even make a video out of this stuff. So all of these things matter. Because it just sucks to know that, there's a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 15-year-old.
Salem was right.
Don't have these same things that we do.
$5.
Right? So, but everything else, Salem was right.
I want to bring up one thing then. Actually, now you got me thinking about it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to commit to this now, and you guys can hold me to it. If I don't put this up,
it's on record, it's alive. So
we're gonna make this happen.
Fast
food Jesus!
Fast
food
Jesus! $50.
Heck yeah! All right.
So he did 25, now 50. He's at 100 now.
Yeah, fast food Jesus.
Man, that's
a lot. That's a lot of cheeseburgers.
Lot of fast food. I wonder what he's eating tonight.
Fast food. But anyway. What we want to do, as we mentioned, we're trying to build our esports fundraising campaign into something wonderful and something that everybody will know about. And one of the things that I want to make sure happens is it becomes a community effort, like a community endeavor.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is when I get, after I'm going to take a couple days. I'm not going to lie to you, lie to you at home, everybody.
Trust me, after events we take a couple days to recover.
It's been I need some recovery time, but I'll put up on Twitter a form to fill out because I want to start putting together like recruiting for the advisory committee, recruiting like a street team to put together.
Okay.
And so that'll give people the opportunity, even if you aren't in the Orange County area, we can set up like, teleconference for people to call in and give their thoughts on things. And, we can start recruiting. If you have any interest in being part of this event in the future and helping us build something, the more support that we get from the community, the more Goodwill, the more comfortable Goodwill feels putting more of these events on. So I'll put up a form, and everybody will tweet it out. And if you send me an application, I'll talk to you and let's see if we can.
What's right about left? $8. Okay, so obviously we don't have your Twitter handle on the screen. So can you tell us what it is? Wow, my man in the back updates.
My Twitter handle is actually at Alex Valle, at Alex Valle, apparently. No, it's actually at Chase the Lux.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
At Chase the Lux.
At Chase the Lux. That's ChaseThelux.
Yep. There it is. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. Go ahead and follow me. I'll go ahead and put that up when I get the chance. Should be pretty soon. And let's start building a legion of followers.
Legion of followers. Legion of good doers.
Yeah, the Legion of good.
Yeah. I'm just. Well, I want to say thank you for approaching us to help you with this cause, because we tried doing the charity thing 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really pan out because organizations weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
But now that people are, you're one of the first ones to come to us and say, hey, let's do something with gaming. So hopefully that inspires other Goodwills out there and other organizations to use gaming as I mentioned before, the vehicle to reach out to people.
For sure. And I want to say, to both of you, thank you so much for bearing with us. You mentioned a lot of the organizations weren't ready for it. Sometimes I wondered if I was even ready for it on my end. But we put in the work, and you guys put in just amazing work. And I'm sure it showed for you, the viewers at home. If you had, if you thought the experience was amazing too. While we were fundraising for Goodwill of Orange County, of course, you had the opportunity to give these guys a subscription. Go ahead and throw them a sub too.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Help them out a little bit, because they do amazing work. I know when we were talking to my organization, they're like, they want to make sure that we pick the right the right business to work with, or the right organization to work with. And like, Level Up's the best. Trust me, they got this under control. We're gonna make it happen.
Too kind.
Kind words, my friend. Kind words. Any last words, everybody?
Living La Vida Luco. That's the guy playing.
I love it. $5. Any last words before we headed off to more after hours segments? I know Romy wants to get some Puyo Puyo Tetris in. Maybe we'll fast food and wow.
Whoa.
I'm not reading that because I'm a man of God. Man of God, man. Right here, man of God.
Last words on from Goodwill's, from us here at Goodwill. Thank you so much for supporting the event, whether you were one of the opt-in or the early opt-ins for the voting, whether you nominated somebody, whether you bought some merchandise or made a donation to get somebody voted into the event, whether you watched at home,
Rod Rap Stand too.
Just anything.
$1.
Anything, all the people that provided merchandise for us, this could not have happened. It was such a community effort. With all the buy-in from everybody, it was just such a joy to see, really make happen. And
wow. +1.
Plus one.
+01, sorry. As Lux said, thank you, sponsors, for giving us the product to achieve, that ability to attract people. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not about making money or about, giving money out, right? It's we use products to bring attention to the other causes, the programs and stuff like that. So just because we did 10K now doesn't mean we're always going to be doing 10K every event, right? That was just a way to help give back to the players who spend money to travel and really help spread the word that that we want to that wanted to market out or share with the audience out there. And we're just fortunate. HyperX, other companies had the big heart to provide all that stuff with us, and hopefully they come back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm really honored to do this for you guys because I live in Orange County for more than 3/4 of my life now. And yeah, 3/4. Yeah, I was born in Peru, so
A lot of fast food.
So,
People are disciples
the-
of Salem. Like
and when you get older, and you start figuring out, oh, giving back is good. I should have done this a while ago. But supporting your local communities outside of this, right? Restaurants, whatever they're doing to build it up. And Orange County is my home, right? It's our home for the events that we run. It's our home for our players, gaming, and it's. I would love to do a lot more of these in even different ways. It doesn't have to be like Jimmy says. It doesn't have to be this, right? It can be just one person, right?
Yep.
Just doing good. It can be 2 people, or it can be a classroom. It can be kids. It can anything. Like the sky's the limit on how you want to do this. So hopefully, the form that you sent out for the applications of being part of this, is throwing it back at you guys. So.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll put a box in there for different ideas that you might have for your own, charity event that you might bring that we probably didn't think of because, we try to think of everything, but we're just human.
Pizza Angel, man, what is out with the Bible references and the names?
They're getting
Either something really wild.
They're making me really hungry right now. So
either something really wild is happening on the Smash stream, or it's dinner time somewhere.
So I'll close out with some advice and words of wisdom for those who are looking to do events like this.
The Flash on the CW.
The Flash.
I am the Flash.
Nora's annoying. Anyway, a lot of people ask me this question is, why do you guys keep doing this if your return isn't quick enough, right? Well, that's not it, right? It's we got to keep doing things until we succeed, and you got that motivation and the drive to do it is what's really going to build your character, right? Just because you do something and you don't get instant results right away or get instant gratification or satisfaction doesn't mean you should stop doing it, right? Level Up, we are in year 10, approaching year 10, and it took us several good years to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, and had a lot of successes and a lot of fails along the way, right? So, even when it comes to your personal growth, don't give up. Don't give up. Put the time in. It will pay off. Trust me. Yeah. It will pay off in the long run. Don't always chase the short-term solutions, right? Short-terms are there to give you the experience you need to reach that goal that's way out there, right? If you give up at the first step, then you are doing yourself a disservice, not just to yourself, but maybe to the people you're working with. Like you're at your job, you fail, and oh man, I can't do this job, and you don't want to ask for help. Then you gotta get over that negativity or that roadblock in your mind. So those for those who want to aspire to do good, it's gonna be rough. Trust me. To achieve good, you must go through a lot of ups and downs to get there. So learn that, teach that to your friends. Maybe you need to remind somebody who also is down in their current career or life. Things will turn around. You just got to put some effort to do it and not give up so easily. It's easy for me to say, but it's true. I grew up kind of poor.
As a cat.
But here I am. I have a great career. I built a business with my longtime friend here. I taught him stuff along the way. So if you knew Alex back then and you see him now, you're like, holy cow, that's a huge difference in who you were. And that's what I do in the background is I help my friends, my peers, my coworkers to become better people. So I'm a shadow person. This is the longest I've ever been on camera. But yeah, I'm more of the guy behind the scenes, like, or he calls me the puppet master. Sometimes, yeah, I tell people to do, and it's okay if people, take the credit for what I tell them what to do, because I'm not about the spotlight. I'm about how can I make you better? How can I make you better? How can I make my team better? You got to have that mentality when you want to build something.
And your inspirational speech was giving a salutation right there, commentary God tier for thank you for your donation of $20.
$20.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. And let me ask my producer, hey, what do you want to do with the next hour or so? Nothing?
I think they want to. I don't know.
I think they want to eat.
I think they want to eat.
So,
I think
so
I think
why
it's
don't we
time
get
to
some
eat.
dinner? I think
Yeah.
we'll set up the Nintendo Switch, maybe do some random games. So let's throw up the BRB screen, and then we'll see random people play stuff.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.